cause I got a lot to say. Create a spider in your face now. Tune in, you can follow every round. From the grind to the big fight day. Hit subscribe, cause I got a lot to say. Every jab, every move, every game plan. Heart of a champ, you can see it on the cam. Walk with me on the hard roadway. Craig Richard, and I got a lot to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got another special guest today. One of the pioneers of the media for the women. She's known as MZ. She likes to go by Melissa Zad. But either other way, let's bring her in. Melissa Zad.
Hello.
What's going on, Melissa? How are you today?
I'm very well. I've never been introduced before, so that was quite the experience. Thank you so much.
Did you like being like one of the pioneers of women media right now? Because we see you doing a lot of big things, from commentaries to presenting to media, your own channel. Tell us more about yourself furthermore before we get into this, because we've got a lot to say.
We've always got a lot to say, Greg. I like it. I really like the concept of your show as well. So big up to you. I like the branding that you've got going on. It's very cool. It's very good to see.
I don't know why you've mentioned this about my branding and mentioning that the tops are on sale now, $14.99. DM me, merchandise out now. I didn't want to get into all of that, so I'm not today.
Question though, do you give your guests a top, a t-shirt?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So we'll start from May the 1st.
Love it. Yeah, okay, so back to your question. Yeah, I really appreciate being called one of the pioneers. I don't think I could take credit for that actually, but I appreciate the framing.
We won't say one of the pioneers, but we would say one of the significant figures right now, currently, out of the women. You know, you had a lot of the pioneers, Michelle Phelps,
yeah.
You know, she was like one of the leading ones of the women, and you've seen women coming through after that. But currently, in this day and age of the new Gen Zs, as I'd call you lot, you, October Red, and there's a few others who are now. There's not many women left, but there is a few. At the moment, but I'd say out the new crop, you're one of the long-lasting ones.
Yeah, definitely agree. I've been around for a long time. I've been doing this since what year did you fight our good friend
Sterling, your mate? When you voted against me, which I'll never forget. That was 2018. And it's so funny because someone actually said to me the other day, I've seen you having domestic clashes for so many years now, from 2017. And I looked and I thought, wow, like 9 years ago, I've been proving myself against unbeaten prospects in Britain. And time just flies. And fast forwarding on to that, 2019, we then picked up a couple of the haters in the media, yourself and a few others, had to prove you guys wrong.
And now look at us. Look how this journey has gone, you know?
And now you're on the journey and you're here with me, you know, and now look, full circle. Now you're no longer an enemy.
Full circle.
Full circle.
From enemies to friends, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I've been in the boxing media game since about 2017, I would say. That's when I first started working with Pep Talk, and obviously I met you in 2018. So it's been a really long ride, actually. Essentially been around since 2017, late 2017, 2018. And the journey's had lots of twists and turns. You know, I was working with Pep Talk UK doing kind of fight weeks and that sort of media style reporting that we see a lot of. And then I did some work with Into Boxing, and then I started MZ Boxing as a channel, which is that at that point, I think you decided that was the name that you were going to take forward with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, MZ Boxing now.
That's it. And at some point I did like Puncher's Chance TV. Anyway, the point being, there's been lots of twists and turns, but for the last 4 or 5 years or so, I've been more focused on doing presenting at shows, which is, I think, a lot more suited to me and my style. So I've been doing that for 4 or 5 years. I've had the pleasure of working with Nielsen Boxing and TM14 for the last 2 years. And obviously their shows, if you've ever had the opportunity to go to them, they've just grown and developed so much. It's been so nice to be along for that ride. And then, more recently this year, well, not this year because it's 2026. Last year, I got involved with DR Sports, and I've been doing like watch-alongs. Now myself and my co-host Laurie, we have a weekly show on DR Sports, and of course, I started finally after so many years of everyone telling me I need to do it, and I have always resisted because I had no interest in having my own YouTube channel. I now have my own YouTube channel, Melissa
Jeez.
Zad. Go and
Come on.
subscribe.
Shout out. You'll see it on the link. Come on.
Thank you. Yes, plug me at all opportunities.
Go on.
And it's been amazing. The journey's been amazing. I feel like I'm building a little community there. I really like it. I really enjoy it. And I'm sure I'll get myself into loads of trouble for all the opinions that I have. But hey, that's what we're here for.
I get. Do you know what? That's why I was skeptical. I thought, do I bring MZ to get me cancelled with her? You know what? Why not? We've got a lot to say.
Let's go. Show, Craig.
Well, it is a lot to say, and if you think about it, this week headliners, every week headliners, boxing. Let's talk about it. What is some of the headliners right now you're seeing? What's made you scroll twice on your phone and dig deep on the algorithm to find the other side of the story? What he or she's got to say about it? Talk to me.
Well, I think that if we work backwards in reverse chronological order, obviously the news just broke. What we just saw recently with Martin Bakole's statement around Ben.
Yeah. Huh. What's going on with that? Martin's saying a lot of stuff. Allegedly, he said I'm not in contract and he won't let me fight. He's saying he's ruining my career. I won't give the man another penny. I'm out of contract. Allegedly, he's implying he's harassing him with emails. Allegedly, what people are saying that he keeps messaging him, making him uncomfortable, and he just wants to fight. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's really hard to know what's going on. I guess I'm really intrigued to hear your thoughts, not to push it back on you, but I am intrigued to hear your thoughts because I don't actually know how this side of things work, like the contractual side of things. But I will say that he obviously put out this statement that was very disparaging of Ben Shalom and Boxer. Boxer have released a statement in response to it, kind of saying that they said something along the lines of, he remains in contract and we've worked really hard to kind of get him the biggest and best opportunities. And the ones that we have secured for him, he's either been unavailable for them or he's declined them. But we'll continue to work with Martin and we hope to see him back in the ring soon. So they're very much denying what he's saying.
You know what? Obviously, I'm not in the office. I'm not in the room when they're having the conversations. Also don't know the ins and outs of these guys' business. All we can go by what we see on social media, what we see in terms of the showing. There was rumors saying that they could have lost the BBC deal, allegedly. Not sure if that's true or not. I'm hearing there was people talking about that. When you look at it, where is all the fighters who's meant to be out? You got like Adam Azim's the face of the boxer. Where's he been? We haven't seen him fight for a while. We know that Troy Williams ended up getting his world title opportunity allegedly boycotted through contracts, and they
a lot of allegedly's going on here.
A lot, because I can't vouch for what's actually going on, but I can only tell you what I'm scrolling and see on social media.
Yes,
and I'm seeing on social media. I saw Troy going up raw saying, "Let me." I think it was the IBF. He was meant to get his world title shot at the IBF. He didn't realize he was contracted to a rematch, which he had won, and they didn't let him push on, which I thought might have been more fair was, in my actual opinion, is let the man go and fight for his IBF and then maybe fight the rematch after that. Maybe they can both get one between, even the other fighter. He might want to rebuild his confidence, have a fight, see what went wrong, do a training camp, and then come back and then fight Troy again. And there'll be more on the line. Troy goes out there. Obviously, we'd have been rooting for him to go and win that world title. If he went and won the world title, he could have then had the rematch for more gold. So that's one thing we saw. And we also saw, was it Liam Smith saying that he got done over in the contracts, allegedly again, with things and stuff like that. So, when
it feels to me, sorry to interject, but just the thought that came up, like, if you're a boxer that signed with Boxer, at the moment, you must be a little bit concerned with the way that things are going. Like, obviously, they lost their Sky Sports platform. They're on the BBC now. Things don't seem to be moving in a
In the right
trajectory that, yeah. And if you're a boxer with Boxer, you're probably a little bit like, And I do wonder, because I saw Fran Hennessy doing an interview the other day, and obviously, you know, Fran, she's lovely and she like always speaks well of whoever she's representing. Of course she does, and I appreciated that that's what she was doing. But she was saying like, oh, it's so exciting to be on the BBC and this and that. If I'm Fran Hennessy, I'm looking over at MVP and I'm thinking,
I'm
you know
slipping.
what? Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Because we know it's like, look, it's all great having a platform. It's all good having a promoter. But if the promoter hasn't got a stable, they can't fulfill their contracted dates with headliners. And we've seen that happen with Channel 5, remember, with the Hennessy. Why are the Hennessy fighters like Fran is now on BBC now, currently, after moving from Sky Sports, because they couldn't fulfill the dates. We saw it seemed like the same fighters on Channel 5 was on every show. They was probably getting burnt out. Like every Channel 5 show was the same lot. And at the time they had, I think they had Egerton headlining. I'm not sure. I think he might have been one of their headliners. Then he went off to Sky Sports. That kind of left the baton with Shakan Pitters at the time. He was now their poster boy.
You went on Sky Sports. I mean, you were on Channel 5, right?
Yeah, so they won the purse bids. I went over there.
Yeah.
And he was the poster boy. And even the way they promoted the fight, it wasn't at the best interest or for the show. It was more for the fighter. So like even when they put the post up, it was just Shakan's face saying he's fighting with the British, but they didn't put the opponent. His own favor of promoting that fighter because they didn't have a big stable. So he was the new poster boy. And when I knocked him out for the British, that then had not much for them to build off. And before you know it, one less fighter, one less headliner now. It's over, buddy. It was done. So then we fast forwarding, you see now Sky Sports, a lot of the fighters, when Sky Sports didn't renew, they slipped out very fast. You saw Whitaker, Caroline, the list goes on, etc. Most of their headliners went, and you got Adam Azim left and Callum Simpson left, which obviously Callum Simpson just took his first defeat to Troy. Adam's still flying but not getting any dates. Who else of their headliners right now?
Fran has headlined before, so you can consider her a headliner.
Fran, headliner.
They're all thereabouts.
Yeah. It's not
looking good. It's not looking
giving.
good.
As you women say, it's not giving. So yeah. So that's kind of my thought process when it comes to the whole saga of the contracts with Boxer and them wanting to leave. And I just think if a fighter's really unhappy and wants to leave, there is no point keeping. It's like,
but the thing is, if you're thinking about it, like if you're Boxer, you're like trying to hold on to whoever you can bloody hold on to. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, you know, at the end of the day, like they're I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying I agree with it. I get it.
Like, for a business point of view.
But from a business perspective, you're going to try and hold on to whoever you can, particularly because you're literally clutching at straws.
But if you was in a relationship with a guy and he's telling you, I don't like you anymore, I don't want to be with you, and you're locking the door to keeping him in the house, it's over. He doesn't want to be there. How long are you going to hold him for? If one day you're going to go to work, he's going to slip out. So even if he feels one more fight, he's going. So
I hear you, but I don't know if that's the correct comparison to draw here, because ultimately it's not a relationship. Like these are contracts, they're legal documents.
Business relationship.
Yeah, but they've been signed.
It's not a romantic relationship. It's a business contract.
I guess the question I have is Martin, I guess what we need to verify, is Martin Bakole still in contract?
That's what we want to know. And then we know where we're at with it all. Not like it's anything to do with any of us, but we just want to know. As fans. As fans on civilian mode, just sitting back watching. We want to know. Talk to us. But moving forward, as I was mentioning their whole stable, as I mentioned, former stablemates Caroline and that. What's going on with her and Alycia Baumgardner?
Yeah. Alycia Baumgardner and Caroline Dubois. That is a rivalry that just seems to be heating up, spicy mode all the time. So I guess like I've got quite a lot of opinions on this because ultimately, Caroline. So to give some contextual framing of this, Caroline called out Alycia prior to this fight with Terry Harper, right? She's been sort of like building some hype around this potential matchup between the two of them. And Alycia, they had like this press conference, this MVP all-female press conference at some point, and Alycia was at the top table. Caroline was at the, not the bottom table, but the table below. And Alycia was kind of like, I'm the big dog here. Like, I know what you're doing, but it's not going to run. And I said then that this is before the Terry Harper fight was made, but I said then a fight with Terry Harper would be a great litmus test for Caroline, because obviously Alycia came over to UK soil. She took the belts from Terry Harper in emphatic fashion, knocks her out. So then, lo and behold, sometime later, I'm not saying that I'd had anything to do with it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that.
Promoter as well now. From presenter to promoter.
I wear lots of hats.
Shalom, better watch out. You might get a BBC deal.
If there's a deal going.
Hey, I want my 20%.
So, sorry, how much is that?
We'll talk about that. I want to go. Okay. I said my level will send you the contract.
Okay, so contract, business. Okay,
and you will be contracted as well. There'll be no, I'm not under contract.
Got it. I won't do a Martin Bakole on you. Don't you worry.
Please, you won't.
So then this fight gets made with Terry Harper. Obviously, we just saw it play out over the weekend. Caroline got a points victory over her. She knocked her down. I think it was fairly early on in the fight. And she gave a really good account of herself. Like, it was such a mature performance. Like, it was so composed. Even when you thought, okay, maybe she'll get a bit excited here and push on for the stoppage, she didn't like go into this overcompensating mode, trying to force this stoppage. She gave a very, very mature, very structured performance. I thought it was fantastic. I'm a huge Caroline fan.
Terry Harper's a good operator, and Caroline went in there. She got the job done. Terry didn't disgrace herself. But Dubois, she's a very good operator. I've been in the gym with her before. She's one of the only few females I've watched spar and knocking girls out cold in sparring with 16-ounce gloves. I've seen it with my own eyes. They hit the canvas very heavy too. She can punch 16 ounces. I was very shocked because rarely you see knockouts in sparring sometimes, but females and that lightweight, you're not planning to 16 ounces and head guards thinking. I was hitting the bag and I turned around 1 second and it was that backhand hook. Yeah, crazy. She's done it a couple times as well. But let me not give too much away. Sorry, carry on.
We love the inside scoop. So yeah, she's a great operator. I mean, she's fantastic. I have so much respect for her. I think she's wonderful. Anyway, the point being is that Alycia, while this was happening, she recorded herself on IG stories or whatever, watching the fight. And she was, just to say as well, Terry Harper, I mean, she was like 20 fights. She has 20 fights worth of experience. She had, she's got a wealth of experience over Caroline.
A couple of times she's won the world titles as well, hasn't she?
Yeah. Former world champion. Yeah, exactly. 3 times, I think.
3 times.
So, yeah, it's a great fight. It was a great fight. Anyway, Alycia's watching this fight now on her phone. She's recording herself reacting to it in real time. And she's like, yeah, come on, Terry. Rooting for Terry, obviously. And I don't know, she got a bit of slack because people were like, oh, that's a bit cringe. I didn't find it cringe. I found it quite entertaining. That part of it I found quite entertaining. Anyway, in the days that followed, so what then transpired is in the post-fight press conference, Caroline's like, I want the Alycia fight. That's the biggest fight to be made in women's boxing. Which, if you're Alycia, I can understand why that statement might rub you up the wrong way. Because obviously you're thinking, well, I'm undisputed. I'm not even a lightweight. I'm super feather. Like, why are you calling me out? And she did say things to that kind of effect. But I get it in the sense of, like, there's been so much talk around it now that people just want to see the fight. So
backstory,
anyway,
sorry to stop you. Rewinding back from that, she mentioned her before, and she said, "You don't really want this fight. You're using my name for hype. Go and get a belt or two, unify before you call my name." She went and unified. She got the belts. She got a few belts now. So you told her to go and do a job. She's gone and done the job. And it kind of reminds me of when Spence said that about Crawford. Go and get some belts before you call me. And he collected his belt. And he said, I'm here now. And I feel like Caroline said, you told me to do a job. Post-fight, I've done the job. Are we on now?
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. That's actually an angle that I hadn't thought of. And now I'm thinking about content I'm going to do on my own channel tomorrow. Anyway, thank you for that.
Oh, wow. No. You say everything you got to say. Let the fans know everything you got to say right now.
Right now.
We owe them.
So then, yeah, anyway. Alycia's then gone on Insta stories. She loves Insta stories. And she was like, she just went in. She went in on Caroline. Like, she was just like, she was giving a lot of attitude, yeah. And like, I don't know. I'm going to get in some trouble for saying this, but hey, I'm just going to say it. But it's like, I remember interviewing Alycia when she came over here to fight. It was just after her Terry Harper win, and she come over to fight Michaela Mayer. And it was the first fight before the fight got cancelled because of the Queen's passing. And so she was here, she was doing interview. I interviewed her. She was just so like humble. Yeah, R.I.P. And she was like so humble and so like down to earth and just cool and whatever. And since that Michaela win, like she's kind of developed this persona, and it doesn't feel to me as someone who's interviewed her as being super authentic. And I've interviewed her a couple times now, and I just did not get that. I feel like she's changed, and I don't love it.
Because she did seem like she had quite an arrogant persona about her when I saw her.
And like, yeah, and that's not the Alycia that I met, you know. So for me, I'm a bit like, I'm not here for all of that. I'm good with a bit of trash talking. I loved, you know, Caroline and Terry's back and forth throughout fight week. It's not that. For me, I think I just like it to ring of authenticity, and it doesn't with her. Anyway, that's a very, very biased opinion that I have, obviously based on my own personal experience. Whatever. She's gone on Insta stories now. She's talking a whole lot of smack on Caroline. She's been like, I'm not ducking her. Like, she can never take me, this, that, and the other. She's saying a lot of stuff. One thing I really took issue with her saying, and I've spoken to people about this, and they think I'm just taking it too literally, but she said something along the lines of, I'll even put her in the dirt for you guys. And for me, I'm like, do we really need to go there? Do we really need to go there?
That's crazy. That's
it's
mad.
A bit much. Yeah, it's a bit much. And like, people have argued and said, oh, but that doesn't mean what you think it means.
But what does that mean? Does she space that she'll end her whole thing? Her whole career?
Well, I think the meaning, well, in the most literal sense, that means, you know, not good stuff, right? And I don't like that kind of talk, because for me, it's just like, we've seen so many tragedies take place in boxing. So I think we can I think there's a limit to the thing that content.
You don't want to mention things in that sort of way. There's ways of going around things.
100%. Anyway, all of that to say, this rivalry is it's spicy.
You think this is really going off now?
I think
you think it's going off, and you think like it's going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing. Look at us. We're talking about it. It's the talking point right now. So let me ask you, black and white. Are you saying Alycia is ducking Caroline right now?
No.
No?
No, I don't think she's ducking Caroline. Why do you think she's not taking the fight? I think that I actually don't think she does. I think that Alycia honestly thinks that she's too big a profile to take that fight. I think that she has this view of herself that she's above taking that fight.
She said that there was a fight everyone knows she wants next. What is that fight?
Amanda Serrano.
Okay. But will she get the Amanda Serrano fight?
I believe. Sorry?
Do you think she'll get that fight?
Well, I don't know, because Amanda Serrano is scheduled to fight on May 2nd against Cheyenne Hansen, who's I believe being trained by Xavier Miller out of IQ, which is a good fight. I see him. Sorry, Zav. I see Amanda probably winning that fight. Just because it's Amanda, she's just awesome. I could be completely wrong. I know nothing about Cheyenne Hansen.
Shout out Miller, another one, Team Aziz. But carry on. Let's go.
You're just surrounded by enemies, aren't you?
This is how it goes. Everyone's my friend until the cameras are off. Well, let's go.
So it's likely that if that fight was made, it might be made at the end of the year. Yeah, and that's the kind of time that Alycia is talking about wanting that fight. However, I will say this, Alycia hasn't been in the ring with the best opposition for a long time. The last time she was in the ring with someone of her own caliber was Michaela Mayer. And that fight, although she won that fight, a lot of people saw it actually be going the other way. It was a close fight.
Did we see that Caroline posted after the post-fight? She said her performances are dips post-fight since the drug allegations and the drug scandal with her. What do you feel? Do you feel there's an element of truth in that?
Boy, it's so techie, isn't it? Because it's I don't know. Obviously, the way that she handled all that stuff, all the allegations around the adverse findings, has left a bit of a sour taste in lots of people's mouths, because she was kind of doing this whole high and mighty thing that she's been on, right? It's just bro, just relax, just relax.
Sure. Just take a little chill, yeah. Just relax, yeah.
Just relax. So, have her performances dipped? You could argue that point. You could also argue that her level of opposition has dipped, and therefore, that age-old saying of you're only as good as the person you face. Yeah.
I personally have not watched her whole performances pre and post, so I can't have an opinion on it. I just asked you because I saw the statement Caroline had made. I know you watch all boxing. I thought that's your opinion due to the statement.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because I don't know if you watched the Alycia Baumgardner Michaela Mayer fight.
I watched that fight. I was at that fight actually.
Yeah. I was there too. What did you think? Who did you think had that fight?
I thought Alycia had done enough. I thought Alycia won. I heard that the commentary was a little bit biased towards Michaela at the time. Obviously, Alycia at the time was a matchroom fighter fighting on a boxer show. So the chips was against her on the show. But I felt like she's won, and I thought they might try and rob her, but they didn't. She got the decision. So I thought she'd done enough. It was a close fight.
At the event. Right. On the night at the event, I thought Alycia won it. I then rewatched it on the TV, and I actually had it the other way.
For the commentary.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because I heard the commentary was really swaying everyone. A lot of people at home were saying, I thought this and that. Then people were saying the commentary was really pushing towards the agenda for Michaela. I didn't hear the commentary, so I watched it black and white, obviously live, no commentary. So as you did the first time, no commentary. You thought Alycia too. You've gone home, commentary, gone the other way.
Yeah, I might have to rewatch it sound off.
Third time lucky. Yeah. Watch it on TV with no sound then and see what you think.
Yeah.
I never watched it again. I watched it live that day, and that was it for me. I ran off into the night. It was done.
I think for a bit of homework, Craig, we can both rewatch it with the sound off.
I don't know if I'm that invested.
Okay. Okay. Just an idea, but okay.
All right. I'll consider it.
Okay, great. So then also, just to add as an extra layer of intrigue to this whole fiasco, obviously we've seen Caroline Dubois and Clarissa Shields are good friends. I think Caroline sort of sees her as a bit of a mentor figure, and they seem really tight. It's really nice actually. I think Clarissa said something really sweet about Caroline at that fight event, which she said something along the lines of, Caroline has said many a times how she finds Clarissa really inspiring, but Clarissa also said that I find Caroline really inspiring because seeing her hunger and motivation has given me extra hunger to stay in the game, which is just awesome. Anyway, Alycia obviously referred to this link up because she was like, I see you now siding with the ops, trying to do it because Clarissa and Alycia have their little
beef. Yeah. So They both got beef with
But
you.
it's
So why not?
interesting. Sorry, it's interesting because back when Alycia and Michaela were fighting, Clarissa obviously was very team Michaela because of the Olympic route that they were on
Yeah.
together. And then at the post-fight press conference, I was there. I saw Clarissa comes in to give Alycia her flowers. They became cool at that point. And then obviously further along the line, Alycia is then calling out Clarissa. This whole beef ensues. It's crazy.
It got messy. It got messy. So
Messy. And I'm here for it.
Well, let's hope as we push on to the end of the year, we see Caroline Alycia. I've got great faith in Caroline. I think she's a tremendous operator. Also, Alycia is a tremendous operator, so it'll be an interesting fight.
Who do you have winning?
Caroline.
Yeah, me too.
Come on. She'll bring it back to the UK.
Yeah. Team Dubois.
Hit the bar. Come on. Any other topics you would like to touch down on? Any news headliners you've seen? Anything left?
Well, I want to ask your opinion on something.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Obviously, you've got a lot to say. So let's see if you've got a lot to say on this topic. Obviously, we saw this week that the Smith-Morrell fight has been cancelled because Callum Smith sustained an injury in training camp. And a bit of a shame because that was going to be for the WBO interim, the same title he picked up in his fight against Joshua Buatsi in February 2025. Same Joshua Buatsi you shared the ring with because it's all in your division, Craig.
It's all in my division. It's all there. No, I was very disappointed in that. You know, I'm not sure what would have happened with the WBO, the interim, considering he's just had a mandatory for it, which is quite unusual. People don't usually get a mandatory for an interim title, but he had an interim. Biv's obviously been injured, which has obviously been frustrating holding out on division. As we were saying earlier, jokingly, I've been beating domestic guys, unbeaten guys from 2017. I'm now 2026. I want to push on now. I've had my full circle moment, come back to the Matchroom gym, beat all the guys from European to former IBO world champions last year, 100% knockout ratio. And it was whoever wants to win this fight, whoever's must-win fight. The winner goes on for a world title. The loser, we don't know where he's going to go. I then had that repeated. December, winner pushes on for a world title. The loser, we don't know where they go. I won both of them, knocked them both out. The carrot was the winner pushes on for the world titles. I've done that in both fights, on the must-win fights, took the big fights, took the risk to push on for that. Now waiting for the opportunity. Bivol got injured, holding it up. Benavidez is holding up the belt, running to cruiserweight all dumb, don't know what you're doing. Give up the belt or fight light heavyweight. Pick one or the other. We're waiting. We want to see what's going on. We all want the work. We want the belts. Pick. He's holding up WBC. Bivol injured. Now, Callum Smith, unfortunately for him, because he has not been holding up the belts, he's been trying to fight, but there was politics. He's finally getting out, sustained the injury. For the division, it's frustrating because say he got upgraded to WBO, winning that fight, bringing it back to Britain, it gives more opportunities for that world title shot. Frustration.
Obviously, the Bivol fight, the Bivol and his opponent, I don't know the pronunciation of his name. I want to say Effiat. Yeah. Glad you said that for me because I would have butchered it. That fight's been announced now for May, right?
May the 30th.
Yeah, May 30th. So that's good. I feel like that's progress on that side of things. But yeah, as you say, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating as fans as well because it's definitely a fight that we want to see. Callum Smith is someone that is regarded as a key contender in the light heavyweight division, obviously. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how that one pans out. Obviously, what has happened is that fight has been replaced with Ben Whittaker versus Suarez. And that's now going to be the main event in Liverpool. And obviously the fans are a bit up in arms about it all because... And, you know, it's interesting. So I did an episode on this on my channel. Go check it out. And...
I'm subscribed, I think.
That was actually for the viewers, but cool.
Oh, yeah. I've checked it out too.
And, So I was like, oh yeah, I kind of said my shit, which was just like, why is Ben Whittaker facing like another, not unknown entity, but like a guy who's essentially got a bit of a padded record, right? He's got like 21 wins, 25 fights, 20 of those are by KO, but who are the opponents, right? Like, why is he facing another opponent like his last opponent, which I think was, I can't remember the name, but I think it was Ghazi or someone. Anyway, I said, obviously, Morrell has, made a statement being like, come on, Ben, let's just get this work because that's, at least let's make it interesting. Obviously, David Morrell has had a full training camp to no avail now. He wants to get in the ring. I understand why he said what he said. So I've said this on my thing. A lot of people in the comments have been like, no, they're just trying to build him. I understand the mentality. But the comparison I actually gave, Craig, you'll be pleased to hear, was you, which was just like,
Okay.
yeah, I said, well, listen, like the kid's 11 fights in, he's 28 years old. Is it not time for him to start getting tested? Because if you look at someone like Craig Richards, he stepped up to face Bivol at a time when everyone was saying he's not ready for that fight. And he gave a great account.
I got stepped up from 7 fights in against guys 12.
No, well, actually, I went there. But firstly, I said this. I said, he went to face Bivol when people were saying he wasn't ready. He gave a great account of himself. He lost by a round and half a round. Remember that from
I like that. Yes. You've got a good memory.
Thank you. And well, you did drill it into me, so got it.
I have to. The haters have got to know, but not saying you're still a hater.
No, yeah. And I said, his stock just went up from that fight. Now everyone looks at that fight and they're like, it aged so well, right? Yeah. So why doesn't Ben step up and take these challenges? And they were like, yeah, but this particular no disrespect to the guy as well, because he does comment a lot, he engages a lot, and I respect his opinion, but the back and forth was this, that he said, but Ben Whittaker's no Craig Richards at that point had won a British title. I said, yeah, that's fine, but Craig's been being tested from early on in his career, and that was the point. Whereas someone like Ben Whittaker, 11 fights in, silver medalist in the Olympics, let's not forget, not being tested. What's that about?
Yeah. I won't say too much on it. He's in my promotion company. I need the work. No, joking, but we know how this thing goes. But yes, it is what it is at the end of the day. I can understand all your point of view that you'd wanted to see Callum and Morrell. And I get it. I understand.
Not got a lot to say right now, do you, my friend?
I will no comment on it. I'll plead the fifth. But I've not looked into it all too much of that thing. Obviously, I did look into the Callum Morrell a lot because I was looking forward to that fight. Obviously, when it was off, it was just like, oh, it's off to me. I wasn't like, who's going to replace the show, because it's not even a London show. So it's not like I was heading down to see it. So once I realized it wasn't that fight, it kind of like lost interest for myself. But it's good they're building. He's building him. He's a cash cow in the stable. So, yeah.
I hear it. I hear it. Listen, like, I know it's, different strokes for different folks and all that stuff. I hear it. But I just think, when Ben was signed to Matchroom, the names that people were excited to see him in the ring with, because we have such an amazing crop of light heavyweights in the UK, of yourself being included in that. But the names that we were excited to see him in against were, we were like, oh, maybe the loser of the Aziz Richards fight or the Richards Aziz fight. That would be a good test for him, right?
Yeah, Richards Aziz.
Yeah, Richards Aziz. Sorry, yeah, I corrected myself.
Sorry, I'll let you go for that.
Yeah. And that would be a good test for him. Dan Aziz is a worthy operator. He's done the rounds. He's won various titles over the years. That would be a great test for Ben Whittaker. Do you know what I mean? And then push on and then face, the other light heavyweights in the country, yourself and Joshua Buatsi and Ante Yarn and whatever else. But no, instead we get Cam Smith, But whatever. It is what it is.
I hear your point of view. I respect your point of view. And I'm glad you said what you got to say, because you got to have a lot to say.
I got a lot to say.
So I feel like we've covered the main headliners topics. And you know what? It's been a pleasure. And I think you're so open about this. We've got to get you back on the show at some point, because you got a lot to say.
Always.
So we're going to do that. And we've got to big you up for your time, Melissa MZ. People follow her journey. Big. We appreciate having her on. So we're gonna sign out so I can still go for my run. Still gonna get that work in. Only trained twice today. Got one more session to go. But guys, like, comment, subscribe, follow the journeys. We've got a lot to say. Big shout out to MZ,
Melissa Z,
for coming on. Party people, would you like to say bye to your viewers, subscribers?
Yes, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, Craig. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me to come on your show. I'm really enjoying your new stream of content, I must say. I have subscribed. So if you haven't subscribed, guys, you're missing out. Hit the subscribe button for Spider Richards on YouTube, and then head over to Melissa's ad on YouTube and hit that subscribe button too.
And make sure hit me up because the new merch just landed today. Only $14.99 while it's on sale. Free delivery now.
And a free t-shirt for all your guests. So that should be motivation for more guests.
I'll be asking your sizes and that. I'll be sending through. Got a few other bits I'll send as a care package. So we appreciate this.
It's a small, and I'll send you my address.
Perfect. I appreciate this. Guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. It's been a pleasure. It's been emotional. It's been a blast. We out.